All right, and so we're back to another video on your graphing calculators. I've had to adjust my position here so that way I can have my cord charging at the same time. And I've got a pretty cool setup with a lamp, a hair tie, and a power cord on a tripod to hold this thing up for me. So we'll see if we can keep the camera a little bit more still. All right, so we were last talking about graphing, and the last thing we had graphed was a bunch of items here. Now, I'm going to go back into y equals, and I'm going to get rid of one of the items. So I'm going to clear this one off. Okay, so we'll take a look at what the graph looks like here. And you can see that little yellow wheel I was talking about spinning in the top. Now, I can do a few different things with my graphing calculator. Going back to your gray buttons here, if I press the trace button, it'll bring up a cursor, and I can move the cursor left and right. You can see that the text is blue and that the name of the function that it's graphing is up top. So the function it's graphing and tracing along is y1 equals x. The x coordinate it's on is here, and the y coordinate it's on is here as well too. And I can scroll left and right and find values. In fact, I could estimate that these things intersect at 1.06 and 1.06. Of course, I'm fairly certain that they actually intersect at 1.1. But because of the resolution of the calculator, I can't quite get there. Now, let's go ahead and check the red graph. So I changed which one I was graphing by pressing either up or down. This will cycle through your y equals functions. You can see them along the top. So I cycled up, and I'll scroll back, and again, I'll have that same issue of not quite being able to be 100% sure that it intersects at 1.1. So that's the trace feature. The next feature I want to take a look at is in your second function trace. So if I press second function trace, it brings up a list of things for me to calculate. Now I can calculate values, which just asks me to type in an x value and it provides a y value. I can use zeros, which tells me where it intersects the axes. If it's a quadratic or a function that has minimum and maximum, I can find them like that. I can also find the intersection point, and that's what I'm after. So I'm going to press 5. Now, it's going to ask me a few questions. It says, hey, what's the first curve you're looking to intersect? Well, the first curve is going to be the blue curve, y equals x. I'll press enter on the first curve. It automatically jumps to the next curve, and if there are more than one that I wanted to find the intersection point of, I would scroll until I find the second curve. But I just want to make sure that I'm selecting the second curve, and I am. Then it asks you for a guess, and the reason why it does this is it's trying to save computing power. So in trying to save computing power, it's asking me to guess, so I'm just going to type in a guess. I think it intersects at x equals 1. Huzzah! It does. When I hit enter after my guess, it says x equals 1, y equals 1. It provides me the coordinates of the points of intersection. That's incredibly useful. So we'll walk through that process again. Second function. Oh, let's type in another function instead. So let's make this second one a little bit more interesting. We'll make it a quadratic. And now we have a line. And now we have a quadratic. And hey, it has 2 intersections. I wonder what's going to happen here. Maybe the guess is going to be useful. So I'll go second function, trace to bring up calc. I'll choose intersection. The first curve is going to be y equals x. The second curve is going to be my quadratic. And I don't really want to guess. I'm just going to hit enter. So whichever solution is closest to my cursor is the one it's going to find. And it found the intersection at 1.1. But there's another one. So we'll go second function, trace, 5, enter the first curve, enter the second curve. And now if I don't move my cursor toward the second one, or actually type a guess like -2, it won't find that second solution at -2, -2. So that's using your calculator to find intersections and hence solutions to systems.